Hello, my friend. Every day, whether you realize it or not, you are engaging in a subtle dance of influence, perception, and authority. From the workplace to your personal life, every interaction is guided by invisible rules, laws of power that determine who rises, who falls, and who remains unseen. Among these laws, there is one that stands above the rest, a single principle that is broken by more people, more often than any other. This is the number one law of power you are breaking every day. Never outshine the master. It sounds simple, almost obvious, but its power lies in its subtlety, in the countless moments where ambition, talent, or even good intentions lead us to forget the delicate balances that govern human relationships. To outshine the master is to inadvertently threaten those in positions of authority, to make them feel insecure, exposed, or replaceable. And yet, it is precisely this mistake that ambitious, talented, and well-meaning individuals make again and again, often without even realizing it. Consider the workplace. Perhaps you're a rising star. Your ideas are bold. Your results are impossible to ignore. You contribute in meetings, volunteer for projects, and bring fresh energy to every task. But in doing so, you may unintentionally cast a shadow over those above you. Your boss, your supervisor, even your mentor, people who once championed your talents, may begin to feel uneasy. Instead of admiration, they feel threatened. Instead of support, they offer resistance. Why does this happen? It's human nature. At the core of every hierarchy lies a fundamental truth. Those in power want to remain in power. They crave recognition and respect, and when someone beneath them shines too brightly, it unsettles the established order. It is not always malicious or conscious. It is a reaction as old as civilization itself. The courtier who dazzles the king with wit or skill will eventually be seen as a rival. The employee who outperforms the manager may soon find themselves marginalized. The friend who outshines another in a group may become the target of subtle exclusion. This law is not about suppressing your abilities or hiding your light. It is about wisdom, understanding when to step forward and when to hold back, when to let others take the credit, and when to let your achievements speak softly. It's about mastering the art of discretion, about knowing how to make others feel secure even as you excel. The most powerful people in history have understood this, often learning the lesson the hard way. Take the story of Nicolas Fouquet, the ambitious finance minister of France under King Louis XIV. Fouquet was brilliant, charming, and immensely wealthy. In a grand gesture, he threw a lavish party at his magnificent chateau, inviting the king and dazzling him with displays of art, architecture, and opulence. But instead of being impressed, Louis XIV saw Fouquet's display as a threat. Within days, Fouquet was arrested and spent the rest of his life in prison. His only crime was outshining the master. The lesson is clear. Never make those above you feel inferior or insecure. Instead, make them feel superior, smarter, more talented. Even as you contribute your gifts, let your talents be seen as a reflection of their leadership, not a challenge to it. Make your successes seem like their successes. In doing so, you build alliances instead of rivalries, support instead of suspicion. But why do so many people break this law? It's often a mixture of naivety and ego. We believe that hard work and talent will be recognized and rewarded on their own merits. We want to be seen, to be acknowledged, to prove our worth. Yet, in our eagerness to shine, we forget that power is not simply about individual achievement. It is about relationships, perceptions, and the delicate interplay of egos. In social situations, the same principle applies. Think of a dinner party, a group project, or even a casual conversation among friends. If you dominate the discussion, correct someone publicly, or display knowledge that overshadows the host, you may win admiration from some, but you risk alienating those whose approval matters most. People want to feel valued and respected. They do not want to be reminded of their own limitations, especially in front of others. So, how do you avoid breaking this law? Start by developing emotional intelligence. Pay attention to the mood, the dynamics, the unspoken cues in every interaction. Notice when someone in authority seems uneasy or defensive. Instead of pushing forward, pull back. Ask questions. Give credit. Offer praise. Make the person above you feel secure and valued. When you do present your ideas, frame them as building on their insights, not as replacements. Let others take the spotlight from time to time, even if you could easily outshine them. None of this means you should stifle your ambitions or settle for mediocrity. Rather, it means playing the long game, building alliances, earning trust, and advancing with subtlety. The most effective leaders are those who make those around them feel stronger, not weaker. They know that real power is not about dominance, but influence, not about outshining, but uplifting. History is filled with examples of those who failed to heed this law and paid the price. Galileo, whose discoveries threatened the authority of the church, faced persecution rather than praise. Tesla, whose genius was overshadowed by the more politically adept Thomas Edison, died in obscurity. In each case, the brilliance of the individual was not enough to overcome the insecurities of those in power. But there are also examples of those who mastered the art of discretion. Sir Walter Raleigh charmed Queen Elizabeth I, not by outshining her, but by making her feel the center of attention and crediting her with his own successes. In the corporate world, shrewd executives know when to step back and let their superiors take the spotlight, even as they quietly accumulate influence and build their own power base. The key is balance. Know your strengths, but also know the strengths and insecurities of those around you. Recognize that power is rarely given. It is taken, earned, and negotiated over time. The most successful people are those who understand the psychology of those above them and move with subtlety, patience, and grace. So, the next time you find yourself eager to demonstrate your talents, pause. Ask yourself, am I making those above me feel secure or insecure? Am I building alliances or breeding resentment? Am I shining in a way that uplifts others or casts them in shadow? By mastering the art of subtlety, by letting others feel superior even as you excel, you ensure your own rise will be smooth, steady, and secure. The number one law of power is not about playing small. It is about playing smart. It is about understanding the rules of the game and using them to your advantage. Never outshine the master. Instead, become indispensable, trusted, and admired. Not for your brilliance alone, but for your wisdom, discretion, and ability to make others feel powerful in your presence. That is the true path to lasting influence and success.